Now, thank you very much for the question. My name is Nompumelelo Obokoh, and I'm the member of the ISDC. My background is plant molecular biology. I did my Ph.D. from the University of Cambridge, where really we were working in the laboratory, looking at various plant genes and looking at the interaction as well as their contribution to plant growth. And from there, I then moved back to South Africa, where I was heading a big consortium as well as a multidisciplinary team where we're looking at our indigenous crops in South Africa and actually taking those genes that we have researched at the laboratory level and trying to look at how therefore we can actually introduce them into other various crops for plant growth as well as gene expression, but most importantly transgenics, understanding that in South Africa we already had a regulatory framework that allowed for the transformation of crops so that we can therefore take this innovative solution to the farmers. And for me that was very key because it means that I was moving from the laboratory then to the farmers field and ensuring that these key innovations can therefore benefit our small scale farmers. So this then took me then to Nigeria, where I worked for an international organization called the African Agricultural Technology Foundation. And there again, looking at what is it that is really paining our small scale farmers, issues of climate change, the insects, and also crop loss. So it was therefore important to also engage with other partners within the continent as well as abroad to look at some of the genes and innovations that are produced by the private sector, negotiate those royalty-free, and be able then to introduce them to our indigenous crops. And that was very key for me because it means that right from the laboratory, when we're identifying these genes, getting them in the farmers' hands, and therefore looking at how therefore do you communicate, do you package the information for small-scale farmers to get these innovative tools and then for make their choices in order to be able to feed their communities, but also to make livelihoods out of these solutions. Yeah, pursuing a career in this field, for me, it was really about excitement of what science, technology, and innovation can do, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, looking especially in the area of agriculture. In the health sector, what we have seen is that technology is already in the forefront, it's already assisting humanity to grow and also to be able to thrive under different circumstances. But in this case, we find that these innovative technologies are not in the hands of the farmers. And for me, it was very key, having seen what is happening in other countries when I was doing my PhD, and how therefore can we now move the needle forward for sub-Saharan Africa to get innovative technologies to small-scale farmers. So that was very, very exciting for me because my mission, and I believe that we're all living a purposeful, driven life, where we're looking at what is it, why am I existing in this world? And it is therefore, to be able then to use the science and then to show that it is a science that serves humanity, it is a science that transforms lives. I was quite excited when there was a sort of a request for people to participate within ISDC and looking at the role that ISD plays in terms of providing rigorous, independent, scientific advisory to the System Council, but also to the entire CGIAR. So for me, it was very important then to utilize the science background that I have and the experience that I had gained over the years, especially working in the laboratory, but also in the farmers' fields, right where the farmers need this technology to be able to take this information and this science and also be able to assist the CG to make that impact in ensuring that these technologies, they reach the intended users and the farmers. And what if, as we're going on, I'm now 3 years into the ISDC, and some of the gains and the outputs meant that we are providing that advice to CG to also be future ready and to also make that impact. For me, that is what really excites me about this role and how we are contributing to further strengthen the work and the research and innovation strategy of the CGIAR.